Episode, I'm gonna be talking about mental health as an entrepreneur, because you got to understand, when you get in the field of entrepreneurship, this isn't a lifestyle. This is a commitment. You got to be committed as an entrepreneur and understand, when you're building the business or building the brand, it's going to be many days. It's going to be long. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be hard days. It's going to be days that you're going to feel like quitting. It's going to be days that you're going to feel overwhelmed. It's going to be days that you're going to feel burnt out and what have you. That's why it's very important that you put your mental health first and you work on that, because if you don't work on your mental health, you're not going to last long. You're not going to have any type of longevity in the field of entrepreneurship whatsoever. So other than that, we're going to tap into the episode number 26, man, season 2, man. Tap in. Yep. And grand rising to all my investors itself out there. Thank y'all for tapping in with me on another Monday of the Invest Brand Podshow. As you see it back there, Invest Brand Podshow. This is officially episode number 26 of season 2. So make sure, if you haven't already, check that episodes 1 through 24 of season 1. Make sure you go back and check it out. This is the second episode of season 2, what have you. So thank y'all for tapping in with me. Thank y'all for being on the ride with me in this journey so far. So this is going to be a good one, man. More to come and what have you. But today's topic that I'm going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about mental health as an entrepreneur, because it's very important. This is a very important subject, because this is something that we definitely got to take serious. This got to be something that's number one on our list when it comes to entrepreneurship, is our mental health and whatsoever. But before I jump into the topic, guys, you know what to do, man. If you're watching this playback on our Invest Brand Network YouTube channel, what have you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop, and make sure you smash on that like button. It's very important that you smash on that like button. And if you are listening to this playback on our Spotify channel, make sure you hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drop. But other than that, man, like I said before, investbrand.com, guys, will be back up. We're just working on it, day and night, trying to do some upgrades to it and what have you, get some new product on there and what have you. So, I'm doing some upgrading to the brand and what have you, rebranding a little bit, trying to add some new flavor, trying to add some new content on there and whatsoever. So, like I said, man, you got to be patient with me, guys. I'm only a one-man team, so I'm definitely trying to take it one day at a time, trying to get it out as fast as possible, because, man, this is something that's very important, man. Investing in yourself. This is, like I said, beginning of the journey, man. This is a long-term investment. Invest Brand Podshow is a long-term investment. This is, like Nipsey Hussle said, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon or what have you. But other than that, man, you know what it is. I'm going to take a quick break, real quick. I'm come back, with the segment, Quote Me on That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what I mean by the quote. But other than that, man, guys, make sure you tap back in with me. Yep. Welcome back to the Invest Brand Pod Show, guys. Thank y'all for tapping back in with me. Like I said, today's show we're gonna be talking about is mental health as an entrepreneur. But before I get into the topic at hand, it's time for that segment, Quote Me on That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what the quote means. For today, quote, for all my investors itself out there, people betting on themselves, investing in themselves, people out there pursuing goals in life and what have you. Today, quote is, be unapologetic when investing in yourself. I'm going to read that one more time just in case you didn't hear or understand what the quote said. Be unapologetic when investing in yourself. So basically what the quote means is, don't apologize when it comes to investing in yourself, because a lot of times people feel guilty when they are trying to bet on themselves. People feel like they've been selfish. People feel like they should be doing other things or helping other people instead of helping themselves, get further in life, get to the point where they want to be at and what have you. You got to be unapologetic when investing in yourself. You can't feel bad. You can't feel like you're being selfish and what have you, because in life, sometimes whatever you want to create, wherever you want to be in life, sometimes that takes being selfish to get to where you need to be at. Better yourself so you can better your situation, better your environment, better the people around you and what have you, gain resources and access to things and what have you, so you can help people around you. So be unapologetic, man, when you invest in yourself. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you should be doing something else, or you should be investing your money in somebody else, or doing taking your money and doing some other things with it to help other people and what have you. Sometimes you gotta invest in yourself. That's one way you're going to be able to get to where you want to get to in life, to become a better you and what have you. You got to invest in yourself, and you got to be unapologetic about doing it and whatsoever. So that is the quote, and that's what the quote means. Very simple, straight to the point, man. Be unapologetic about investing in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Don't worry about no criticism, people criticizing you, what have you, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, what have you. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Once again, the quote is, be unapologetic when investing in yourself. That's the quote for today. That's the segment. Quote me on that. All right, guys, man, we about to tap into the topic for today. Like I said, man, today's topic we're going to be talking about is mental health as an entrepreneur, which is very important, man. When you're an entrepreneur, is number one thing is working on your mental health. It's very important, because you're not going to last long in the field of entrepreneurship if you're not working on your mental health at all, because entrepreneurship is you want to be able to create longevity for yourself. But if you mentally not there, what have you, your mental health is not intact, you're not going to last long. You're going to have a lot of breakdowns. You're going to quit. You're going to give up. It's going to be a lot of things that's going to cause you not to be able to grow your business, not to be able to grow a brand, because you got to understand, it's not easy to grow a brand, right? It takes, it take different people. It may take one person longer than the other, what have you. Everybody, don't work the same, right? Everybody don't build the same way and what have you, right? Some people may start out with a team of people around them that can help them move the needle even faster, to building a brand, where you have some people don't have the resources, right? They got to start from ground zero just themselves and build the brand up to the point where they can afford a team to help them and take pressure off of them, different tasks, daily tasks and what have you. So being an entrepreneur is not easy, right? It's not easy whatsoever, right? It's a lot of things that's got to be factored in as being an entrepreneur, man, especially when you're trying to go out here and build a brand, because there's a lot of challenges that some entrepreneurs, many faces, right? One can be a lack of raising capital, inconsistent income. What else? Trying to build a team, a dependable team at that, because it's very, very hard. Find the right people to be part of your team and what have you, right? What I already said, raising capital, what have you, your website, your web presence. So definitely trying to get people eyes on your brand. It's going to be something that's going to be very hard, because you got a lot of other brands out there, depending on what you're doing, that's going to be in the same field as you and what have you. So that's going to be something that's definitely going to be hard to get people to trust in your brand, believe in your brand, feeling like this is something that they need in their life and what have you, right? Also, the growth and the quality of the brand and what have you. So you definitely, it's a challenging, as an entrepreneur, it's going to be a challenging thing, especially like I said, if you're just a one-man team doing it on your own, it's going to be a tough challenge, right? It's going to be a lot of trying days. It's going to be days where, like I said before, you're going to feel like quitting, feel like giving up, you feel like you don't want to do this no more. But trust me, if you bet on yourself and you trust yourself, you're going to be able to win at all costs, because you're going to have that determination that no one's going to stop me, not even myself, not even the doubt that I'm not going to allow to set in whatsoever, because you have a lot of brand owners out here that's are 6 figures, 7 figure earners and what have you. And if they thought that they couldn't do it, or they allowed the self-doubt to set in and what have you, they wouldn't be here today, right? The major brands that you see today, right? So you got to understand, man, being an entrepreneur, it's a grind, right? It's a grind. You got some people that started out of their house, right? Started out in a basement, started out in a garage and what have you, but now look where they at, right? But they wouldn't be able to get there if, for one, is they mental, if they didn't work on their mental health, because understand it's going to be a grind as an entrepreneur out here, man, especially when it comes to your mental health. It's going to be some trying days that's going to mentally make you fatigue. But if you stay mentally ready and strong and you work on your mental health, it's not going to be anything out there that's going to be able to stop you. So I got 3 things that I'm going to add to this that is important to do far as mental health. There's many other things out here that you can do for mental health. These is just 3 things that that I chose to talk about, to add on the list of my mental health things that you can do far as helping your mental health as an entrepreneur. But before we dive into them 3 things, I want to read a little paragraph about a study for as mental health, as for as entrepreneurs and what have you, right? So this article said mental health is easily one of the most underrated and overlooked keys to entrepreneurial success. A study out of UC Berkeley says a whopping 72% of entrepreneurs have some kind of mental health issues. Of the entrepreneurs they studied, 30% had a history of depression. 19% had ADHD, 12% had substance abuse issues, and 11% reported having bipolar disorder. Mental health is finally getting the attention it deserves, and the good news is that you are not alone. And by that study and showing that you have a lot of entrepreneurs that fall in them categories. Some fall in the categories of depression. You have some follow in the category of ADHD. You got some follow in the category of substance abuse, and you have some that follow in the category of bipolar disorder and what have you. So that's why it's so important, man, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, that you work on your mental health, because you don't want to fall in any of these categories. It's easy to become depressed, especially when you had an idea coming into as an entrepreneur that all you have to do is create a brand and it's going to be successful overnight, what have you. And you have all these high expectations and you don't see the success right away of the expectations that you have. That's easily you setting yourself up to become depressed and what have you, because you don't see these false or these fictitious expectations that you had created for yourself and what have you. So that's why it's very important, man, that you make sure you work on your mental health and don't set yourself up for failure and what have you, because you have 30% of entrepreneurs that become depressed and what have you. 19% have ADHD, right? You know what I'm saying? Retaining, being able to have attention long enough on one typical thing, what have you, without getting sidetracked and what have you. And it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy because you're trying to do multitask and trying to do a lot of things, especially you got a deadline for yourself that you're trying to get a lot of things done and fit in there, and it's not really realistic and what have you. So it's very important. And sometimes, man, I think I might have it because when I'm working, and it's a lot of things that go through my head. I might be thinking of something, right? And I grab my phone to look something up, and something else pop in my head that I thought about 10 minutes ago, but I forgot. Then I go and look at that. Then I forget about what I grabbed my phone for. then that don't come back to mind until like probably 15, 20 minutes later. I'm down the line working on something else. So that's why what I'm saying is you want to make sure you prioritize, you make sure you write things down, so it helps you stay focused. You'll know everything that you wanted to get done rather than trying to go off the top of your head and think of things and you're not writing them down and what have you. So that's why I say, man, you don't want to set yourself up to now you're not mentally focused. Now you driving yourself crazy because now you're trying to think what you grabbed your phone for before you got sidetracked of something that you supposed to have been doing 5-10 minutes ago or looking up and what have you. So it's very important. So let me jump into the three things. I have it down. Three things that I have that you know it helps with your mental health, especially as an entrepreneur. The first thing you want to do is very important. Is make time for yourself, because a lot of times we don't make time as an entrepreneur. We don't make time for ourselves because we're so busy trying to build a brand, build a business, and what have you. We lose focus on ourselves, right? And that's very important, man, because at the end of the day, if you don't take time for yourself as an entrepreneur, guess what's going to happen? You're going to burn yourself out, right? You're going to end up losing interest in what you are working on or what brand you're trying to build and what have you. You could, because you're going to become mentally fatigued, right? You're going to end up burning yourself out. That's why it's so important for you to take time out throughout the day and do some things that you enjoy. If it's reading, exercising, working out, you know what I'm saying? If it's you like watching movies, you like doing things that's, fun, whatever that you like to do as a hobby, take time out. Because understand, being an entrepreneur it's going to be a long journey, right? So you want to take time out throughout the day and do things that's going to help recharge you up mentally, rather than you burning yourself out and now good. You all burnt out. Now you go a couple days and you're not working on your brand because you are mentally fatigued. You mentally burnt out and what have you. So that's good to take time out with your family. Go do something with your family, right? Because your brand is always going to be here, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to go out, spend every day, not every day, but every single minute or hour of the day working on your brand, because it's going to be easily for you to burn out. So take the time out for yourself. Do something that's going to recharge you up. It's going to get you going, right? Rather than you just constantly going and going, because at the end of the day, you're going to burn yourself out by doing that. So it's very important that you spend time, with your family, with your friends, outside of work. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to burn yourself out, man, because like I said, this is a long journey of building your brand, especially if it's just you. It's just you and you don't have no team. You don't want to burn yourself out, even though you have to put in the work in order for you to build your brand. But as long as you stand consistent at doing something every day, you're not going to have a problem building your brand. Just don't burn yourself out going overdrive with it, overkill with it. And next thing you know, you're neglecting everything else around you, especially your number one thing, yourself. Never neglect yourself. Go out and take care of yourself. That's one way to help you mentally. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep your mental clarity, right? You mentally in tune, intact, and what have you. So it's very important that you do that as an entrepreneur. Okay. 2 that I have on my list is join a support group. You got many groups out here. You got Facebook groups, support groups for entrepreneurs and what have you. Different little platforms for entrepreneur groups that you can join as an entrepreneur that will help you, because you have other entrepreneurs out there. It don't matter if they in the beginning stage of building a brand or if they've been an entrepreneur for some years now, what have you. Everyone go through the same challenges. So it's good to have somebody else to talk to who understand what you're going through, because people that are not entrepreneurs don't understand the grind, don't understand all the things that comes into building a brand, and what have you. So it's good to have a support group that you can bounce off ideas to talk to, especially if you're going through a point in time in your life as an entrepreneur, you feeling burnt out, or you going through some rough times, some turbulence, or what have you, of building your brand. You know what I'm saying? You hitting mental fatigue and what have you. It's good to have a support group that you can join and what have you. You don't necessarily have to join just one. You can join multiple groups, with multiple different people, different ideas, different encouraging words, motivation, what have you. So it's good to have a support group because that will help you, like I said, you can talk to, because they can understand and relate to the challenges that you are going through as an entrepreneur. Like I said, no matter if they're in the beginning stages or they've been in the field of entrepreneurship for some years, they can always provide you some type of advice or tell you things that they did to be able to get through the challenges, the rough times and what have you. So it's very important to have that type of resources that you can reach out to, that you can talk to, or you can join. And it necessarily don't have to be a group online. It can be a group in person, that you can, a support group that you of other business owners, what have you, that's within your city or in your neighborhood, what have you, right, in the area, that you can join, that you can talk to, get some advice from if you're going through troubling times and what have you. So that's why it's very, very important that you make sure that your mental health is always in the forefront as an entrepreneur, because you want to continue to be able to thrive in the field of entrepreneurship, man, especially when you have that your mental health intact, mental clarity and what have you. Is very, very important that you do so. And the last thing on my list, number 3, is nutrition, for your body and your mind and what have you, because it's very important, man, what type of diet that you on, you working out, you eating right and what have you, you exercising. See, all these things are good for you as an entrepreneur, because like I said, this is a marathon. This is longevity thing when you get into entrepreneurship, right? So you want to make sure you have your health intact. Well, like they say, if you eat better, you think better. You think better, you eat better, because now you want to be able to have the mental clarity, making sure that you be able to come up with ideas for your brand, right? Come up with concepts, come up with things that you need, far as when it comes to making sure that you are doing, giving your brand the best ability or the best chance to be able to thrive, because you don't want to not be healthy in no way, because you gotta understand, you have entrepreneurs that you see out here that works out on a daily basis, that eat right, have a strict diet, because they understand the journey that they own. They understand the journey of entrepreneurship. They understand that order for them to have longevity in this, they got to make sure they physically fit, well as physically fit, well as mentally ready for this grind, because entrepreneurship is a grind. And another thing I don't want to forget is sleep. Definitely get your sleep out as an entrepreneur. If you're going to bed, find the right time for you to go to bed, so you can be able to get your 8 hours of sleep, or midway through the day, be able to get you a nap in, because sleep is going to help rejuvenate you mentally. It's going to help stimulate your mind, give you a fresh thinking cap, where you can be able to think of ideas, think of things that you may need for as building your brand. Because like I said, you don't want to be tired trying to think of ways that you can build your brand, or think of business ideas for your brands or your concepts and what have you on a fatigued mind, right? It's on a fatigued brain, what have you. You want to make sure you get your sleep. You want to be able to rejuvenate yourself, because that's very important, because you don't want to run yourself ragged, right? As an entrepreneur, you have some entrepreneurs out here, right, that works day and night on their business, on their brand, and next thing you know, they burn themselves out, because they not doing themselves, they not treating themselves right when it comes to health wise. They physically or worn out, beat down, or what have you, because they not, you know, providing or adding any type of exercise within their day, what have you. They not on no type of diet. You don't necessarily as an entrepreneur have to be on a diet, but not eating healthy. As far as might as well say not eating healthy enough to whereas it gives them the fuel that they need for they can be able, like I said, you eat better, you think better, you think better, you eat better. So you definitely want to make sure you're eating all the right foods that's going to continue to get you thinking, mentally going to keep you going and what have you. So it's very important that you do that. You want to give your body the right nutrition that it needs. It's very important, man, that you feeding your mind the right things that it needs to process ideas for yourself. Make sure you're feeding your body all the things that it needs to continue to go, continue to move forward, because you don't want to be an entrepreneur that's unhealthy, that's not physically fit, because like I said, this is a journey. You want to be able to get your sleep. You want to be physically fit so you can be able to conduct business through on a daily basis, because you're building a brand. You're building a brand, or you already have your brand established. You want to continue to build on that. You want to continue to make sure your brand has the have the best ability to be able to continue to grow. It's all about longevity, right? So you want to make sure that you mentally ready, physically fit for the grind, for the hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it is, man. Then you have things out here like supplements that you can use to help you bring mental clarity and what have you. So it's other little things out here that you can use, that you can do to help you. You know what I'm saying? Release. See, all these things that you're doing is helping, especially if you're a person that have anxiety as an entrepreneur, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs out here that have anxiety. A lot of entrepreneurs that may have a lot of stress. Stress is very easy. So these things, having a healthy diet, exercising, and getting enough sleep, these things help you manage your stress, help manage your anxiety, right? So it's all about maintaining maintaining your mental health. That's very important as an entrepreneur, because trust me, you don't want to have a breakdown in the middle of you building a brand, especially if something that's going well for yourself. You got a great idea, some that is going to bring people in and what have you. In the middle of you building your brand, you just now getting started, you have a mental breakdown because you're not mentally ready, or your mental health is not intact and what have you, right? Or you're health wise, right? You're not physically fit, or you're not eating proper foods, and it causes you to have a stroke, cause you have a heart attack, cause you have indigestion, cause all these other little healthy things that's not going to help you whatsoever, right? So you want to make sure that your mental health is intact, right? It's very, very important that you do that, guys, man, as an entrepreneur, because trust me, it's tough days, even for me. I'm only one person, guys. Invest brand, it's been a long time coming, even though we launched this 2 years ago, but it's been work in progress. As me not having a team, just me by myself, coming up with the designs, coming up with the concepts, coming up with the ideas of Invest brand and what have you. Got to make the content, post online, so I can be able to build up a community of people and what have you. It is a mentally does a job on you mentally. You might as well say does a job on you mentally, right? So that's why it's very important that you do mental exercises. You do things, step away and take breaks. Do things that with your family, do things with your friends, do things that you enjoy, so you can get some mental clarity, so you can be able to rejuvenate and what have you. Because like I said, man, I'm doing this by myself, so I got to be very cognizant of how I spend my time, make sure I'm doing things that's going to make sure I'm be mentally well, make sure I don't burn myself out. Like I said, if you get into that point, take a couple days off where you can rejuvenate. get yourself ready, take a vacation and what have you, so you can be mentally, get back mentally right again. So it's all about your mental health. So by me understanding that, this is a long-term investment of a brand and what have you. And this is like I said before, like Nipsey said, this is a marathon. So I understand first thing first is making sure I'm mentally healthy before anything. Invest brand is not going to go far. It's not going to run long if I'm not mentally ready or mentally healthy enough to be able to continue to build this brand, right? So this is why it's so important for me to continue to make sure that I focus on my mental health, making sure that I take time off to spend with my family, take time off and do things that I enjoy to get that rejuvenation again. So that's why, man, as an entrepreneur, I got to be mindful because this is it's a brand, and I'm not going to allow myself or push myself to the point where I become burnt out and what have you. So I'm very cognizant of that. I'm very mindful of that. And as an entrepreneur, guys, man, take your time. This is a long-term investment being an entrepreneur. So you want to take your time, pace yourself, and don't get burnt out whatsoever. Make sure you put your mental health first and foremost. It's very important, guys. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tapping in to the Invest Brand Podshow again. This is episode number 26 of season number 2. So like I said before, man, go and check out 1 through 24 episodes of season 1. Very, very hot shows. This is officially season 2, second show of season 2, episode number 26. So it's very important, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Pod Show. Make sure you subscribe to the Invest Brand Network YouTube channel, what have you. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop, and also hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button. If you listen to this playback on Spotify, hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drop. Like I said, investbrand.com will be back up pretty soon. I'm working on that, getting that all fixed up and what have you. Guys, got new designs coming in. I'm already wearing one of the shirts. You see, greatness to be witnessed. So we got this shirt coming, and we got a hoodie that goes with the shirt and what have you. So it's a lot of good things in store, guys. So man, definitely stay tuned with the Invest brand and what have you. Be down. Make sure you join the journey and what have you. It's very, very important. You catch us, like I said, you catch us on Facebook. You follow us on Facebook. You also can follow us on IG and what have you. So it's very important, guys, man. We doing this, man. 2023 and beyond. Invest Brand Pod Show, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with me. I'll check y'all out next Monday, man. Every Monday. Yep.